Ecnofocus, the first edition of weekly news bulletin. Welcome to Ecnofocus, your trusted source for global economic insights. I am Dr. M. Madhavan, and here is the roundup of the key economic developments from February 2 to February 8, 2025. Let's get into the global economic news. Headlines.
Global interest rate policies differ. The U.S. Federal Reserve pauses rate cuts while Europe, Canada, India, and Mexico lower interest rates to boost growth. U.S. imposes new tariffs on China. President Donald Trump introduces a 10% tariff on all Chinese imports, while tariffs on Canada and Mexico are paused for a month. Stock market reactions. Global equity funds see a $3.86 billion net outflow by 5 February. While European and Asian funds receive net inflows, corporate profits rise. CBOE Global Markets reports record revenue of $2.1 billion, an 8% increase from last year. EU adjusts carbon tax rules. Mid-sized businesses to be exempt from the EU's new carbon border tax, with the focus shifting to the top 20% of importers. Global economy stable. The UN projects global economic growth to remain at 8% in 2025, the same as in 2024. India cuts interest rates again. The Reserve Bank of India reduces rates by 25 basis points to stimulate growth, with GDP forecast at 6.5% for 2025. China struggles with slowdown. Government policies aim to boost domestic spending and stabilize the real estate sector. Japan's economy recovers. Exports rise and investment in technology grows, but inflation remains a concern. Southeast Asia gains investment. Countries like Indonesia and Vietnam benefit as firms move supply chains away from China.
Central banks around the world are taking different approaches to monetary policy. The US Federal Reserve has paused its rate cuts due to a strong domestic economy, while the central banks in Europe, Canada, India, and Mexico continue to lower interest rates to boost their growth. As a result, the US dollar is strengthening, impacting global trade and financial markets. In a major move, US President Donald Trump has imposed a 10% tariff on all Chinese imports. Meanwhile, tariffs on Canadian and Mexican goods have been paused for a month following new border agreements. These actions have triggered debates over the legality and potential impact on consumer prices. Market reactions have been swift. Global equity funds witnessed net outflows of $3.86 billion by February 5, with significant withdrawals from US equity funds. However, Asian and European funds saw net inflows, indicating different investor sentiment across the regions. Corporate earnings. CBOE Global Markets reported record revenue this quarter, driven by a rise in its European equities market share, which increased to 24.6%. The company's annual net revenue reached $2.1 billion, reflecting an 8% growth from the last year. Policy initiatives. The European Union has announced plans to exempt mid-sized businesses from a new carbon border tax, focusing instead on the largest 20% of the importers. This decision aims to balance economic competitiveness with environmental sustainability, benefiting green industries. Economic outlook. The United Nations has projected global economic growth to remain stable at 2.8% in 2025, maintaining the same pace as in 2024. This suggests resilience in the world economy despite ongoing challenges. ASEAN economic developments. In India, the Reserve Bank of India has announced another 25 basis point rate cut to stimulate economic activity amid slow recovery in manufacturing and exports. Meanwhile, India's GDP growth forecast remains strong at 6.5% for 2025, with key sectors like technology and infrastructure seeing increased investments. China's economic slowdown continues, with government interventions focusing on boosting domestic consumption and stabilizing real estate markets. The People's Bank of China has introduced new liquidity measures to support small and medium enterprises. Japan's economy showed signs of recovery with increased export activity and renewed focus on technological innovation. The Bank of Japan, however, remains cautious about the pressure of inflation as the yen fluctuates against the US dollar. Southeast Asian economies, including Indonesia and Vietnam, have seen a surge in foreign direct investment as businesses diversify supply chains away from China. These nations continue to benefit from strong regional trade agreements. That wraps up this week's global economic news. If you found this update valuable, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to EcnoFocus for more insights. Drop your thoughts in the comments box. How do you think these developments will impact the global economy? Until next week, stay informed and stay ahead.